Hello and welcome to Amethyst Star Crafting. My name is Jane Hallmark and I'm a UK independent Stampin' Up demonstrator. And I'm coming on because I've just finished doing one and I thought, well, I'll come on and show you what I'm doing so you can see that you can create a box. This is an open box for anything that you happen to want to do. So I've been making these really sweet little crocheted forget-me-not pots. I've put a little tag on there, the world needs more people like you, and they're going as little gifts for Mother's Day or for Easter coming up. And I love crocheting, so as I say, I've done these tiny little pots. They're little glass jars that held like a little yogurt in there. They're only tiny, they're only, I mean, that's my hand, you can see they're only tiny, but I wanted something to just display them in. I didn't want to seal the box or anything, so I thought I would do just a little box like that, which is going to just hold them with some tissue in there, and then I can just send them. So what have I done? You can make a box any size you want, because if it's not long enough, you just add another piece on the end, and that's what I've done with this. So I have taken a piece of designer series paper, any paper you happen to want, and I have scored it. So make sure that your directions are coming up the right way, which is why I had to change it slightly. But I have scored this one at 3.5 inches, at 7 inches, at 10.5 inches, and then the rest is the tab. So my box is going to be 3.5 by 3.5, but as you can see, that only gives me that amount of size, because on a 12 by 12 piece of paper there's no extra room. So I have done another piece on the side, and this is where, if you're measuring yourself for any box, what you need to do is, so I took this and I put it on my scoreboard this way, and I thought, right, I want it to come at about 5 inches in the depth, because then that will be fine. So I thought, right, so I need it to be 5 inches. So this is, I think it's about 5, no, this is 6 inches, because I'm going to have a bottom on it. Okay, so if it's 5 inches and you want a bottom of 1 inch, just add 1 inch on the bottom. Then if you take it this way round and work out where you want, I thought, okay, 3.5 inches will give plenty of room. So 3.5 by 4 is more than a 12-inch piece of paper. So do it for your 3.5 and your 3.5, which will then take it to your 3 pieces like this. So that's where I've got my 3.5, 3.5, 3.5. That then gives you a tab piece. And then you do your second piece, which again, I didn't get the directions right. So you need to make sure that you are going to, when you put one piece on against the other, that you've got, if I look at this, I need to have a piece that's going to go onto this side. Can you see on here? So I need it to go onto here, and I then need it to go onto the onto the other side so that it goes. So make sure when you're doing this piece that you've got your 1.5 inches where you need it to be. And it doesn't need to be 1.5. You can do this at even 1/2 inch if you want to. It's entirely down to you. So those are my pieces, but I need to I'm going to put these pieces together first, then we're going to come back to the scoreboard because I want to do the base. But I think I find it easier when I'm just going to put this down on my seat because I'm standing up for this one today, so I know that it's going to all come into camera. So I need this piece, is the piece that's going to come like this. That's my tab there. So I need to make sure that this piece comes in like that, on there, and then this tab piece will come in on there. So we've got those exactly right in size on there. So this is going to be, and I'm just making sure that that size is, yes, that matches, that's 3.5 inches on there. Okay, so I need to attach this to here. So let me take it flat. So we need to put this piece in onto here like that. Okay, so that's going to come in over on the top. So let me just add some, I'm going to put wet glue on it, and I'm going to glue the tab part first, because then that makes sure that I can see exactly, I know I'm going to be gluing the right piece onto the right piece. Okay. So this is going to go in on here, and I line it up like that first. Then I'm going to, because that's where the seam comes, I'm going to fold it and just take it along that piece as well, because then that means that I know that it's straight that way, but when I fold it, where it comes on the seam, it's straight as well. Okay, now I've got the length, and it doesn't even fit onto the camera, of the box. But I want it to be not quite as long as this, because I want a base on it. So I am going to take my scoreboard again. So I'm going to bring my scoreboard back in. And again, I glue it all first, because I find it easier for me to work out where I'm going. So let's bring my scoreboard back in, and we've got our long piece, and I want to, that's the bottom of it. So I need to make sure that, because it's a directional pattern, so I need to make sure the flowers are going up. This is going to be the bottom of my box. So I want to make sure that the bottom of my box is going to be, I think 1.5 inches will be fine for taking that across on the back, because 1.5 and 1.5 is 3, and it's going to be 3 inches across. So I'm going to take the fat end, because you're doing it on designer series paper, and I can then take it right the way down. It's obviously too long, so you can't see this bit, but it doesn't come, the paper's too long, so I need to turn it round, and then I can take it back from here 1.5 inches and take this one and join it up. So again, it doesn't matter how long your paper is, you can always turn it round, because as I say, this is, as I say, it doesn't fit in along there, because we've added the pieces on, but it does mean that we can put those pieces in on here by just turning the paper round so that it fits onto the scoreboard. Okay, so now I need to just fold this piece back, which goes in on here. And when it's long, I always sort of fold it just a little bit first before I go across the whole thing. And I'm not using a bone folder, I'm just using my fingernail, because designer series paper is a little bit more flimsy than cardstock, so you just have to be a little bit careful. Okay, so now we need to do some cutting, and we are going to snip up all of these pieces on here. So we want our first large one. Now I need to make sure that it's on the one that because I made that just a little bit out on there, as you can see. So I need to make sure that I'm cutting up the right one, which is this one there. So I'm just going to cut up here. Like that. I've got some big scissors on this one. That's fine, because I know that I've got that right. So I just need to cut up that one and this one. is, again, I need to make sure my fold is where it should be. So always double check as you're going, because you need to make sure that you're snipping up the right bit. So that's the piece that I need to snip up on here. And I'm only double checking because I have obviously put one piece on the other. So that's the long piece there, and that's the little piece that goes in on the end here. Okay, so if we put this together like this now, and put that like that, so we've got that to there. And then, so this is before I'm sticking it down. I'm just making sure that all of my pieces are coming in where I want them to. And I'm not going to cut anything off of this because I want it to come exactly where it should. Now you can see there's a little bit of a hole in there, but we're going to cut some, oops, I've got a piece that's, there we go. We're going to put a reinforced piece inside so that that works perfectly. Okay, so I need this piece on here first. So I'm going to put my edges together. So again, I'm taking this flat and I'm going to glue this piece first. So particular attention to where your edges are. Like that, and then that is going to go in, and it should, if we fold it down, it should go in onto that edge quite well. Just making sure when I pick it up that I have it exactly where I want it on that seam. Oops, come on. Just want to make sure that that edge is nice and neat there. As I say, fold it down on there if you want, but there again, fold it down and crease it that way. Then when you pick it up, take it that way down and then fold it so that you've got it right the way along the crease line and it's nice and neat. You can see on there how neat it is. Okay, then we'll go into the bottom. And we're going to put this one this way, that one that way. Doesn't really matter which way we do it. So all I'm doing is I'm taking these. I'm going to just add, I could have taken this piece, this little piece here off, but it doesn't matter that much. It just adds a little bit of reinforcement. So I'm just going to glue that up in on here like that. I think I need to move my camera back a bit. I think we're a bit close on this, but never mind. It's you've got a close-up view this time of it all, which is fine. I will move my camera back next time a bit. I think I'm just a little bit, whoops, too close. So we're just gluing that on here, and we'll just put that straight down like that. And then we'll take the other side and we'll just glue that like that. And what I tend to do to make sure that it's glued and sticked is turn it over, put your hand in, and then make sure that you have it so that it works, so that it's nice and neat on the bottom like that. Now you can see with this that there's a little hole in there. So we know what size it is, but we can double check. So let's get the scoreboard out again. We are going to put this on here and measure it, and it should measure 3.5 by 3.5. So if I get a piece of just cardstock, which I should have some, got a piece out to do the other bit. That's a card. Hold on, I've got it just over here. just reaching over to get it. I'd already taken one piece out to do it, so I'm hoping this might be a little bit small. No, that's 3.5, and we'll take that by, sorry, you can't see that in there. Okay, so this is just a scrap, 3.5 inches by 3.5 inches. Yep, that's perfect. So I know that that's going to go in on the bottom. So let's bring that in there. So that can go straight down in on the bottom like that. I'm just going to put a little bit of glue on it to just make sure it doesn't fall out. So just a little bit of wet glue. Like that. Pop that in here on the bottom. So that's just reinforced it a bit. And then what I've got is I've got some just some tissue paper. So I've cut the tissue paper just in a part, and I'm folding it in. So tissue paper's in a rectangle. Just folded it in like that. And then all I do is just pick it up and just sort of scrunch it so you have those points that come up. Put it inside my box like that, because then it just gives that nice little piece on there. And then I've got my other little forget-me-not pot that I've crocheted, which will go in like that. And there's plenty of room, just looks quite sweet. So I've now got 2 little pots like that, and they're ready to go off for a little Mother's Day gift. And as I say, I didn't want to have a lid on it. I just wanted a little pot to put it in, so I thought I would come on and show you, as I know you quite often enjoy me doing things that are a little bit different. So little pot for you. As always, thank you so much for watching me. I do appreciate comments. I do appreciate likes. They do make such a difference to my channel going out and being seen in the wider market. So please keep, doing your likes and comments and things. They mean an awful lot to me, and I do reply to everyone. And so stay safe, stay well, and look forward to seeing you again soon. Bye-bye.